This is the Walmart FLW Tour. 4 days of intense competition with professional anglers setting out at the first light of day in the fastest boats on the water. The competition waters are massive and the bass they seek are hard to find. Equipped with artificial lures, the most advanced electronics, and their own knowledge of the bass that roam America's lakes and rivers, the objective is simple. Bring back the 5 biggest fish each day and score the highest overall cumulative weight.
22 pounds!
$125,000 in cash is the top prize, and the winner moves one step closer to the ultimate dream, the World Championship of Bass Fishing, the Forest Wood Cup, which is being held this year in Shreveport, Louisiana. Who will survive all 4 days of grueling competition and hold the trophy high? Find out next.
Unbelievable!
Come on, baby. Stay on.
Time to rock and roll, folks! Showtime! Here we go! Thank you. That's what you call going after one, boy.
His eyes are bigger than mine.
That's a game changer right there, buddy. Would you look at that?
Wow!
Never been done in FLW history.
5 bass limits! You're the new leader. You're Forest Wood Cup champion.
Along the eastern edge of southern Alabama lies the town of Eufaula, where you'll find historic homes situated near one of the most storied bass fishing lakes in the country. It's here that 160 of the best anglers on the planet have come as the 4th stop of the Walmart FLW Tour is underway.
I went into one pocket today and saw 4 different fish on a bed. And I know those aren't fish that were there in practice. Those are fish that have come up during the tournament.
Evinrude pro Justin Lucas sight fished in the shallow waters at the southern end of the lake on day 1 to sack up 22 pounds and take the lead.
New tournament leader, Justin Lucas.
But on day 2, the deep bite started coming on strong as Brian Thrift and Randy Haynes took over the top 2 places.
I haven't been running that many places, but today I'm going to speed the pace up.
Now the anglers are headed out for the 3rd morning, and it's gut check time.
We're out there where I like to catch them.
The time when the pros will answer some burning questions. Have they figured these bass out? Or will they come up to the stage a little light and miss the final day cut? The top 20 anglers out on Lake Eufaula trying to get it done and stay in the top 10 fish one final day and a shot at $125,000. Hey everybody, Jason Harper, joined by Keystone Light Pro Brent Ayler. Brent, always a pleasure to have you with us. I know you'd much rather be out fishing on day 3, but I'm glad we can pick your brain about what's going on. It's spring, at least we think it's spring in southern Alabama, but there's a lot of confusion going on as far as what's been happening the last couple of days.
I think the fish are confused out here, honestly. I mean, it's strange fishing right now. I think that with the way the weather's been, this hot and cold, this kind of delayed summer, spring, the fish are all over the map. I mean, this is the most eclectic fishing I have ever seen out there. They're deep, they're shallow, they're in between, they're still spawning, they're out on their summer ledges already, they're everywhere.
So, do you have to really have an open mind as an angler when you come in here? I mean, I know in practice you guys like to really settle on a pattern. Maybe you're deciding to sight fish and stay shallow, and then all of a sudden it throws you a curveball. You got to, okay, maybe I got to go deep today. How do you stick with a plan, or do you just throw it out the window every morning?
For me in practice, what happened to me is I'd go up and I'd fish shallow, for 2 hours, and I wouldn't get a bite, and I go, well, these fish are out deep. And I'd run out deep, and I'd fish for 3 hours and not get a bite out deep. I'd go back shallow again and go back and forth. It's hard to stay focused on one thing because you do it forever and you don't get very many bites. And so if you committed to one thing, I think you'd be more successful than bouncing back and forth.
I just caught a bass.
When you look at the top 20, day 2 was a struggle for a lot of anglers. I mean, of course, Brian Thrift skyrocketed to the top of the leaderboard, but you've got guys like Randy Haynes, Justin Lucas, who only caught 2 or 3 on day 2, but is still in that top 5 cut. But like you said, they're all doing something completely different. Justin Lucas is saying, I came into this event, I'm gonna stay shallow, I'm sticking with my guns even if it hurts me. But then you got offshore structure guys, JT Kenney, where they're saying, nope, it's gonna be deep. So which pattern do you think is gonna be most successful? successful?
I felt like in practice, I'd say about the second day of practice, maybe even the end of the first day, that this tournament was going to be one deep. And that's just me personally. I think those fish up on the bank are now leaving. They're heading out deep. They're going to Randy. They're going to JT right now. They're moving that direction.
Everything's 6 to 15 foot, kind of on top. We're trying to look for some scattered rocks, stumps, just trying to cover a lot of points.
There's two different frames of mind out there on that deep stuff. I know Randy's inside a little bit more. He's inside the creeks, fishing offshore in the creeks. So he's getting those spots where those fish are just getting there. I think where JT's fishing, he's out in the main river where those fish have been there for a long time. Those fish have spawned in February, March. They've been out there for a very long time. They're in that summertime pattern. So they're on two different groups of fish, but they're essentially doing the same thing. But to me, the fish are going to them. Yeah. The fish that are on the bank are leaving. But having said that, it's so confusing out there. There might still be enough up shallow, but my gut tells me deep.
That offshore game, hop and jump, hop and jump.
Let's talk about something else. We are now in the second half of the season. 3 events left before we go to the Forest Wood Cup in August. And so you got to start looking a little bit at the Angler of the Year points race. Now, coming into this event, you were at the top of the leaderboard. I know you had a 40th, in that area finish here. A little disappointed, but you had a little cushion there. You're probably going to remain in the top after this event. How important are the next few events when you start looking at the Cup?
Extremely important. I'm telling you, right now, with very little time left, I have to catch him to win this thing. I have to. And with guys behind me, someone like Andy Morgan, I have to catch him to be able to beat him. We're going to Chickamauga. That's where he grew up. He lives there. He fishes that place all the time. I'm essentially going to his backyard. And, for me right now, this is my race to lose. Having a finish right here where I did stumble a little bit, I left the door wide open. I have to keep it closed. I have to catch them for the next couple turns.
Well, and I know you don't just want to qualify for the Cup. I mean, I know that's always on your agenda starting in January, but you really want to take home an Angler of the Year title. It's something that's kind of been following you around, and you've come really close. So you really can't afford any more 30th, 40th place finishes.
I know in the years past, I've been close to winning Angler of the Year, and I can name the fish that I lost, or I can name tell you the exact time that I lost Angler of the Year. And it's one of those things where I'm hoping it wasn't yesterday. I'm hoping it was not when I stumbled here. I'm hoping that I can look back at that and go, well, it was close, but I was able to pull it off. And things just have to go your way, and I have to catch them these next two tournaments. That's
going on. Not only is it the title of champion at this event, but also working to move up the leaderboard on the Angler of the Year race. There's a lot of musical chairs happening at this event and the Angler of the Year points. Let's get out on the water to see how day 3 is shaping up on Lake Eufaula.
I feel like this is my best chance to catch a big bag, is doing this. If I get out here and I might have that opportunity to catch 3 or 4 big fish. You never know.
Brian Thrift has been one of the toughest competitors on tour since winning Rookie of the Year back in 2007. He's had a good season already, finishing 7th earlier this year at the Big O. The 2-time tour champion is known for fishing fast, often making just 1 cast before pulling up the trolling motor.
I'm just throwing a swim bait right now, just fishing offshore, fishing little drops, little brush piles and stuff. Man, it's awesome to be leading. I mean, I love to be, this is where I would like to be, because it provides you a little padding. I mean, if you have a tough day and only come in with 2 or 3 fish, you've built up a big enough amount that you can stay in the top 10 and still have a chance for Sunday. I knew it was going to be a grind every day. You just got to get 1 or 2 good bites.
Typically this time of year the water levels would be lower and the offshore bite would be the only thing to do, but right now with the water levels up, the cooler temperatures and cloud cover here on day 3, the shallow bite could rule a little bit today. But hey, I'm mixing it up. There's a lot of different things to do. I'm up shallow, I'm out deep. I literally have 15 rods rigged up on the deck of my boat. That's what's so great about this lake, is you can do so many different patterns. So really at this point, it's anybody's ball game.
Today's just been hard to see, and fish have been a little spooky. The big fish live around these bluegill areas. I had one other big one, a good 4-pounder, hit me this morning. Didn't get hooked. I caught a 6. So, the potential of getting literally a 20-pound bag fishing around these beds is pretty high.
There is so many fish out here right now. Just got to find a mate. Main pattern is just points and small indentions, little kickouts with a lot of rocks, stumps. Been throwing a 5XD. I've been a little bit of 6XD, both baits, and just trying to grind it and stopping it and just really changing the pattern up. There you go. Getting that. You know, we just easing it through there and stripe came up busting. And, you know, a lot of times them bigger bass will be on bottom underneath them. Oh, don't do it, don't do it. All right, it's gonna come up right here, right here. Oh! Oh! Ah! Ah! Fine. That's what we're waiting on.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Straight Talk. Same phones, same networks, half the cost. Chevy Silverado, the one you depend on, the one that lasts. Evinrude, power, performance, and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Off. Keep bugs off. And by EverStart. Fish more, worry less.
I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm in scramble mode, just looking for them wherever they're going to be.
We ain't getting no bites, Jay.
There's a few down there. They're not big, giant marks.
Well, I think the deal is there's fish on every spot I'm fishing because we wouldn't be fishing it if I hadn't physically marked fish on it on my graph.
The fourth stop of the Walmart FLW Tour is into its third day, and it seems we've moved into the struggling hours as 20 pros try to figure out where the bass are.
So I think sometimes you pull up there, and if they're actually feeding, you catch them on that plug and the 5 rig. And when they're not feeding, you can sit there and grind 1 or 2 out on something slow.
Lake Eufaula is a river impoundment located on the border between Alabama and Georgia. While most of our anglers are fishing south of takeoff near the Highway 82 bridge, Randy Haynes has stayed in the creek leading out from Lake Point Resort State Park.
I just think these fish are just not pulled up on top. That sun really helps us offshore fish when they first go out. And it's just absolutely killing it right now. There he is, getting it. Oh! That's the way it's been this week. You better get them while you can. Ain't no size. You want to do better than that, old boy.
Haynes may sound like he's just scraping out a limit, but the first-year Tour Pro is not doing too bad so far today, and he's moved past Thrift to take an almost 7-pound lead over JT, while David Dudley has moved up past the cut line and looks safe to fish tomorrow.
Everything I'm fishing is offshore structure, but it's not necessarily just one bait or one thing. Like, this is just kind of a big, broad hump right here with a bunch of brush piles on top of it. Some of the other stuff I'm fishing standing timber. Some of the other stuff is, you know, true river ledges.
JT Kenney has earned over $1 million in his career, in part because he'll enter as many tournaments as possible each year, and also because the Straight Talk Wireless Pro can flat out fish. He's really upped his offshore game in the last couple of years, and it's paying off here at Lake Eufaula.
It doesn't seem like any of these places really have a whole bunch of fish on them. You know, like you'd find on a Tennessee River lake. You know, you can get 1 or 2 off a spot instead of being able to catch a bunch of them. I'm staying out here. I think this is how the tournament's going to be won. I'm just going to keep bouncing around spots till I hit an area where they're biting.
Every ounce of me says, David, go out deep, because that's where the fish are going to. But I'm still stuck shallow. It's one of these things where I can't let it go. I'm having so much fun shallow, but inside my heart, I know I gotta go deep. I know it's gonna be 1 deep.
Staying shallow today has moved Dudley into 6th place, so he'll have a chance to make up his mind tomorrow about where he wants to fish.
We got our work cut out for us, but we got time. She's not leaving, but There's 2 males and a female, and I know it's a 4.5 or 5 pounder. Definitely try and catch it.
Justin Lucas dominated the Western Series as a co-angler before turning pro at 23. He had a heartbreaking second-place finish at last year's tour event on the Potomac River. Here in Eufaula, he's going after fish he can see.
If I can get this one, we'll be looking good. The biggest thing I discovered is that there are still several bedfish left to be caught, and there's still some coming to the bank. Not nearly as many that are leaving the bank, but there's a lot coming. That one wanted the drop shot. It's like you throw all these things in there and then you pick up a little wimpy drop shot and catch them. Need to catch that female. If I can catch her, I will.
Oh, this is just a male?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. Catch that one.
Randy Haynes has a deep understanding of ledge fishing, and it's no coincidence that he and Mark Rose have a close friendship as both anglers love this style of fishing.
Actually, there's a point sitting right there, about a 2 or 3 foot point sitting over there, and evidently they like it little point.
Well, the term ledge fishing, you know, it's basically offshore fishing. Most of the stuff we're going to be fishing there is attached to the bank. It's points and long, shallow tapering points that come out, or maybe a creek channel or something coming off of the main river. That's ledge fishing. That's offshore fishing, basically. I guess we should call it more offshore fishing, but the term ledge, it came from over around that Kentucky Lake area, and it's just kind of stuck. But what you look for is any contour out there that's different from just the flat bottom.
There he is, getting net. Oh, goodness. Oh, Lordy. Nice one, man. Right here, coming up. Ha! Ha! What I'm talking about. Ha!
Day 3 is over, and the anglers bring their best 5 bass to the weigh-in. The co-anglers who've been fishing from the back of the boat will find out who wins their division today.
Your champion is Brian New.
Congratulations to Brian, who earns $20,000 for his efforts on the water. Next pro coming to the scales led this event on day number 1. He's got 6 top 10s. Ranger Avenue pro Justin Lucas.
Tomorrow it'll be fun. It'll be a one-day tournament. I've got some big swim baits from California that I'm going to try. I know they've never seen some of them.
13 pounds and 10 ounces, 47 pounds, 3 ounces of Lake Eufaula bass.
He's got 4 top 10s on Lake Eufaula alone. The Straight Talk Wireless Pro, JT Kenney.
New leader, 14 pounds and 7 ounces, moves you into first place.
I'm looking for just any kind of structure under the water. It's not just a flat. It has to be something that comes up, you know, or it could be a drop off, you know, something going down. So that's one thing, and then the next thing would be just the presence of bait.
Welcome to the stage, his rookie season, Ranger Mercury Pro, Randy Haynes. Whoa!
I had a group of fish early this morning, and I knew they was there. I got in them a little bit.
22 pounds and 2 ounces. You got the lead by almost 10 pounds.
They're going to catch them. I know they are, and I'm not going to worry about them. I know they're going to catch them, so I'm just going to do the best I can with it.
The top 10 is set, and the mountainous lead that Randy Haynes built up today will no doubt leave some of our anglers rethinking game plans for the final round.
Today we're going to be cranking ledges, river ledges, humps, points, kickouts. I'm going to act like I'm behind by a couple pounds and stay in the same mode as I've been in, and I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing.
There's some big fish up around the bluegill beds, and I'm talking 5-6 pounders. I've caught 2 big fish out of the 3 days, one almost 8 pounds and one yesterday 6.5 around the bluegill bed. So if I can get fortunate, get 5 of those fish to bite, you could have a mega bag. I'm talking biggest of the whole tournament.
I got my crosshairs on you, Randy Haynes, but my scope right now is really fogged.
And if I start catching a 5-pounder, my lens might be getting cleaner. So I hope to clean that scope up.
We got a big deficit to make up, but I saw Scott Martin win a tournament on Lake Okeechobee one time. He was down 11 pounds, and I'm only down 9, so it can be done. Top 10 day, baby. Pumped. We're just gonna go have fun today. I really don't have any fish to go to, a couple bed fish. Go huck a big swim bait like I would at Clear Lake out in California.
The top 10 is pumped up as they head onto Lake Eufaula one last time here on the Walmart FLW Tour. While Randy Haynes has an impressive lead going into the final day, the rest of the field isn't going to just let him take a victory lap today.
Come on, 3-pounders. Couldn't ask for a better morning for shallow grass fishing. This is where we've been starting every single morning of this tournament so far, and the first morning it was awesome. I caught 16 pounds in this little stretch and saw several other fish. We're really gonna pick it apart this morning and try and milk it for all it's worth.
We're sitting in 43 feet right now, and I'm throwing to a ledge. It's probably an 18. The river channel makes a little bend right here, and as the current comes down the lake, the current will wash up over this ledge, and it'll create a little eddy at the top of it. So when the current's running, it's a really good spot. There's no current right now, but they don't go too far from it. It just makes a good little feeding spot for them.
I've caught every one of my fish shallow doing what I'm doing today. There's a lot of bluegill up here spawning in like a foot and a half of water. Big bass, when they get done spawning, the big females a lot of times will go hang around the bluegill beds and feed on bluegill. And they'll bite topwater lures. You know, if you see them, you can pitch a creature bait to them. Basically, it's sight fishing, but they're not spawning. If I find a big one that's kind of using that bed and it stays put, I can usually catch him.
You know, the area that I'm fishing is really shallow with a lot of grass. It's 2 foot at max. I'm just getting in an area with a lot of grass and making a lot of casts in 360 degrees around the boat and just trying to find one that's ready to bite. You never know what stage you're in this time of year. They could be on the bed, they could be garden fried, they could just be cruising.
There he is.
Randy Haynes is a rookie on the Walmart FLW Tour, but the Tennessee Ace has a reputation already as a dangerous stick out on the ledges. On day 3, he sacked up 22 pounds to take command of this tournament, and now he's back at his primary area close to launch.
Oh, it's a big shad spawn going on out here. It's happening, I just ain't catching them. Yeah, he just short strike. Come on, be a bass.
Every fish Randy catches puts that much more pressure on the rest of the field. But on a healthy fishery like Eufaula, anything can happen. Stay tuned.
Freaking toad, dude. My drag was loose, like idiot. That's not how you win tournaments right there. That was a dumb mistake.
Justin Lucas will be thinking about that miss for a long, long time. It's the final day of the Walmart FLW Tour here on Lake Eufaula, and opportunity is what everyone wants right now.
4 or 5 pound fish. I'll remember that one my whole life, I promise you.
Meanwhile, Chevy Pro Brian Thrift has been taking advantage of his opportunities this morning.
We're getting busy today. That's what we need right there.
So today it was cloudy again, and I decided I'd go fish shallow again for the first hour or two just to try to see if I could get a couple bites, because my offshore bite was so terrible yesterday. Caught 3 decent keepers. Caught one swimming a jig, caught one off a dock, caught one on buzz bait.
Thrift is working his offshore brush pile run, and his timing has been perfect so far today.
I'm fishing from the takeoff to the dam. I mean, scattered all out through a 20-mile stretch of the lake. I mean, I'm fishing both sides of the lake, going down one side and coming back up the other side. So there's a ton of structure in this lake. I mean, anywhere you go, you can find a ledge, find a brush pile, find something to fish offshore. When I'm fishing deep, I feel like they should bite if they're there. So I'll pull up there, I make 4 or 5 casts, and if I don't get a bite, I'm going somewhere else because I feel like they're on that stuff to feed. So you shouldn't have to make them bite. You can throw up there and catch them and then go somewhere else and try to catch another one.
Oh, yes, sir.
Something different. I don't know what it is, something different.
The shad spawn that Randy Haynes was fishing earlier has disappeared. So he's back to his normal rotation of offshore spots, and while he's got 2 keepers, he's not happy with their size.
I need some more fish. That's just terrible. I ain't liking it, not catching nothing. I don't know if it wore out or it made a move, or I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna put them in high percentages places today. I just feel more comfortable doing that and wasting time looking.
Well, when it's sunny and calm like this, it's not the best conditions for an offshore bite when there's no current. I haven't been shallow since I've been here, not even practiced, but I might hit another spot or 2 and go shallow for a little bit and see if there's anything going on, because I am not feeling it out here today.
I'm fishing the dying pattern. I know I am. Every ounce of me in my gut says go out deep, and I'm stupid, stuck in here shallow like an idiot.
In FLW competition, no tournament updates are given to the anglers. They have to fish as hard as possible throughout the day and put themselves where they think they have a chance to win.
It's a big one. I mean, it's a 5-pounder or bigger. He's definitely in there. He's not coming out on this front side where I can see him real good. Might have to poke up in there a little bit.
This is the kind of bed you dream about right here. You got 2 good-sized males and 1 giant female. This has got to be executed perfectly. God, this is the male. Yes, all right. That's the male. I had to catch that fish. I mean, that's a good fish. Money's on the line. I'm not going to be greedy. Number 2.
I can't leave my high percentage areas until I get a bottom end weight.
Randy Haynes has been frustrated all morning with the quality of fish that he's been catching. He's got a limit in his Ranger, but he's not happy with any of them.
I feel like all I got to have is a couple more fish. I know they got them on it. This is a current area, and it's got a table to feed on top, and it's just got everything. It's just a good stopping point. I'm sure it's good after year after year. There he is. There he is. There he is. Ah! Yeah! That ain't much, but I'll take them. I feel better. I just need to catch a couple more of them, and maybe I'll start catching them bigger ones.
The Tennessee Ace is gaining confidence, and he's going to make it tough for anyone to catch him. But there's still a long way to go on this final day.
Randy Haynes is a wizard with the Lowrance electronics. He knows how to read them and knows how to actually tell you a story by looking at them on the electronics.
Dude is an animal. I swear he's like born on a ledge, you know? Like, the guy is insane when it comes to graphing around, finding schools of fish offshore.
The rest of the season, it could be the Randy Haynes show. That's what's worrying me. He's doing obviously well in this tournament. Grand Lake's going to set up well for him, and then of course we're back on the Tennessee River at Chickamauga, kind of his stomping grounds there. So this could turn into an interesting second half of the season with Randy Haynes leading the pack.
It's the Walmart FLW Tour on Lake Eufaula, and although he's a rookie this season, Randy Haynes has a reputation that precedes him.
Here he is.
What's even better is his friendship with another offshore specialist, and they're helping each other dominate when the fish go out deep.
The fishing world out there may not know the name Randy Haynes, but they will. You know, we fish together a lot on the Tennessee River, Pickwick, and Kentucky, and Gunnersville, and we just have a passion for ledge fishing and learning more intricate things about electronics and baits and things like that. So, you know, some tournaments he really gets it, some tournaments I really get it, and usually, you know, one of us are gonna wind up, you know, doing pretty good in the tournament.
Even though he's had a tough morning by his standards, Haynes has a comfortable lead here on the final day of competition. The other big mover has been Brian Thrift, who's jumped from 7th all the way up to 2nd place currently.
I'm just threading this swim bait up on this jig, just for like a jig trailer. I'm just pretty much just straight winding it, so it kind of gives the swim bait a little bulkier, bigger profile. The 2 biggest ones I got, well actually the 3 biggest ones I got, I caught in 10 minutes. It was just bam, bam, bam. I mean, that's the way this was in practice and in the tournament. I mean, you might fish 20 ledges and 20 brush piles and not get a bite, and then pull up on one and catch a 5-pounder. Oh yeah, that's a good one. It's just so random. I think they're just using them as just kind of stopping points going from the bank out to the ledges or vice versa. Oh yeah. Ain't that big, long and skinny, but we'll take him. I think he'll help us a little.
You know, when I'm out here fishing, I don't think about money. I don't think about points. I don't think about championship. I think about one thing, and that's a WIN win. You know, right now, the stage these fish are in, you have some shallow, you have some mid-range, and you have some deep. And it hasn't got hot enough to really push them out to the deep water ledges to where they really gang up. It's hard for one person to dominate in just shallow or deep. You know, it's got to be a mixture because fish are just all over the place.
Dudley's frustration is understandable, and the reigning Angler of the Year will have to put that miss behind him because Randy Haynes is starting to get into a rhythm.
What I'm doing is I'm coming back and kind of letting them build up. I usually don't twist them, but I'm twisting them today. I usually catch a couple and try not to catch no more than a couple and let them build back up, restock, and come back 3 hours later and hit them again and get me 1 or 2 more. And I believe this is the 3rd time we've hit this spot today. I had a good feeling about it. I caught a 5.5 late yesterday evening on it. There he is. Oh yeah. I don't know if the sun's got up and they're starting to bite or going a little current. I don't know what the deal is, but they 3rd time's a charm on this hole. Oh yeah.
Grab it, baby. Come on. I got it right in your wheelhouse now, don't I? Don't act like you're not interested now. I know you want that thing.
Justin Lucas has been trying to sweet-talk the fish into his boat all day, and so far he's persuaded 3 of them to join him at the weigh-in. It's not his preferred technique, but he feels it's his best option.
I really don't like doing it during the tournament. It's all fun during practice and when you're out just fun fishing, but when it's tournament time and you got to look at your clock, you know, your watch every 5 minutes and go, man, I've been here for 15. 20, 25. All of a sudden an hour passes on one fish. That's a lot in a day, you know, in an 8-hour day. So I don't like to do it during tournaments, but the bite is so tough right now. When I see one, it at least gives me confidence that, hey, I'm spending my time on a fish.
Got her. Him, brother.
All right, number 4 in the mouth. Whew. Man, this is a grind. I am telling you right now, this is a grind. Brutal.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Walmart. Save money, live better. Mercury Marine, official engine of the FLW. Castrol. It's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering. Lowrance. Find, navigate, dominate with the new HDS Gen 2 Touch by Lowrance. Kellogg's. From great starts come great things. And by Chevy Silverado, the one you depend on, the one that lasts.
Well, today, you know, I just hadn't got a hold of no kickers today. The reason I'm scared to leave this rotation is I know they're there. Oh, yeah. Oh. That'll help. Daggone, about time.
Welcome back to the Walmart FLW Tour on Lake Eufaula, where Randy Haynes' offshore spots are turning on.
All I need is one more good bite. It'll be over.
He's caught 10 keepers today, and each one seems bigger than the one before it. While Haynes started slow but came on strong in the afternoon, Brian Thrift has done just the opposite, catching a solid limit early but hasn't been able to back it up with any kickers. Justin Lucas's sight fish bite has been a grind, but he's got 4 solid fish in the live well and is looking for number 5. Scott Martin is also sight fishing, and he's seen plenty of big fish, but only managed to land 1 average keeper so far. JT Kenney abandoned the deep bite to look for fish up against the bank, but only has 2 fish to show for the move. Meanwhile, Stetson Blaylock has been throwing a shaky head in the shallow water and is climbing the leaderboard. David Dunley has been battling himself all day on whether to stay shallow or go fish deep. He's got 4, but thinks he could have had a lot more.
You know, this morning I started out deep. We had clouds, and it kept eating me up inside. I was like, man, you need to go shallow, but I was like, no, I need to go deep. I was one of those emotions where you just fight it in your head. What should I do? Where should I go? And I ended up going deep. Then as soon as I went shallow, I caught a nice one on a pad crusher, and then I tried to go out deep a little bit throughout the course of the day. Just my confidence wasn't there. Big one. Big one. Oh, boy, did I need that one. I mean, who wouldn't need that? I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. Who would not need a fish like this? Randy Haynes, I'm coming after you. Just kidding.
I'm actually fishing bare banks, and it's really shallow, and there's no real reason for the fish to be there. I mean, they should either be on a target or deep, and they're kind of in between, and that's kind of why I feel good about what I'm doing. It seems like they're more and more relating to cover each day, and I think it's because the weather changed. Just they're not just out roaming eating like they were in practice.
That's the kind we're after right there.
That one got a belly on it.
Justin Lucas doesn't have enough time left to spend on sight fishing, so he's moved out a little deeper looking for a reaction bite.
It was one of the first areas I started in the first day of practice, and what I really do like about it though is that it's right by the main river. This time of year, I want to be as close to the main river as possible, and the grass grows off the bank a pretty good ways. What that does is it gives them a bunch of different ambush points through here, and you know, there's so many places they could be throughout this little section. Come on. Oh, that's number 5, baby. Yes. It's our smallest one, but that's number 5, and she's never looked so pretty. Mwah. Oh, I love this fish.
Shoot, we got 15 minutes left. I'm mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, all above. Tired of making decisions, tired of worrying about it. Ready to go weigh these fish in and call it a day. See if we can get old lucky fish here. Everybody's starting to come in. It'd be nice to catch one about 5 pounds in front of everybody. Oh, goodness! Oh! Oh! Whew. That'll help. That'll help. That just tops the day off. Tops the day off.
I'm done.
All right, let's roll.
The final day is over out on the water, and it's time for our anglers to find out how they'll place.
Now, I'm mentally wore out right now. I'm not even physically wore out as much as I am mentally.
I put all my eggs in the offshore basket. I knew if I had a chance to do good, it was going to be out there fishing those specific places.
Felt like I made some good decisions, and of course made some bad ones. Didn't fish the cleanest today.
Whether anyone will catch Randy will be decided on the big stage at the Walmart in Eufaula, where fishing fans are all ready to watch the big names weigh in some big bass.
5 bass limit for Brian Thrift, the Chevy Pro out of Shelby, North Carolina. If you're looking for 14.6, 16 pounds, 14 ounces, you're the new leader. He's got 62 pounds and 1 ounce of Lake Eufaula bass.
Starting today in 3rd place, he led on day number 1. Already $500,000 in his young career. Looking to walk away with his first tour victory all the way from Gunnersville, Alabama. Ranger Evinrude Pro, Justin Lucas.
Take out the leader, Brian Thrift, for that awesome Chevy Pro team. There you go. You're going to need 14 pounds and 14 ounces. You've got 4 in there so far. Do you have number 5 in there?
Got number 5.
5 bass limit for Justin Lucas. I'm not sure that you're going to get Thrift. We're going to find out a limit worth 13 pounds, 13 ounces. You are in 2nd place. I've never seen anybody so happy to be in 2nd. 61 pounds, which means you miss Thrift's lead by a pound and 1 ounce.
I may make a move and go shallow too if it stays like this, because this is not optimum conditions.
His 5th top 10 on Lake Eufaula. My gosh, Straight Talk Wireless Pro, JT Kenney.
In 3 days, he's amassed 48 pounds and 9 ounces of Lake Eufaula bass. And that had him in 2nd place coming into this final day. You need 13 pounds, 8 ounces to see if you can climb the hill and dethrone Chevy Pro Brian Thrift. Let's see number 3.
There is no number 3.
2 today for JT, worth 4 pounds and 6 ounces, moves you to 7th with 52 pounds and 15 ounces.
There he is. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, yeah.
He just won on Pickwick Lake a couple of weeks ago for the EverStart Series. Started the day in the lead with the heaviest bag. Here we go. Can he seal the deal with his first FLW Tour event? Randy Haynes.
Brian Thrift is our leader with 62 pounds and 1 ounce. In 3 days, he's amassed 57 pounds of Lake Eufaula bass from the ledges of Lake Eufaula. They live there. His kicker, a 5 bass limit. 5 today. You're looking for 5 pounds and 1 ounce, a limit worth 16 pounds and 1 ounce. Your champion is Randy Haynes.
73 pounds and 1 ounce after 4 days on Lake Eufaula. Randy Haynes is your FLW Tour champion.
I started ledge fishing in '98 at Pickwick, and I don't even think I made it to the bank yet. I've tried it a couple times, but man, this is unbelievable. Early in the morning, they'd suspend in front of the bars, and I'd catch them on swim bait, and then I'd throw a jig in there, and then then the Carolina rig too. And you know, today I was just trying to catch a limit and just get by, to tell you the truth.
He's $125,000 richer. Randy Haynes out of Counce, Tennessee, is the new ledge master on Lake Eufaula. An impressive win for Haynes when you look at the rest of the top 10 that he blew past. Remember, FLW is the best in fishing on and off the water. So go to FLWOutdoors.com for expanded coverage and tips from our top pros. On behalf of all of us here at FLW, thanks for watching.